Are you tired of eating the same old thing when you go babysitting? Well, today I'm going to show you a meal that I meal prep when I go babysitting. Stay tuned. Hey sitters, welcome back. It's Lydia. Thanks for joining me. Today I'll be showing you one of my favorite meals to prep for when I go nannying or babysitting. So I don't have to eat that same old pizza, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, hot dogs every night. So let's get into it. So today's meal, I'll be cooking a pulled pork fiesta bowl. I've got some rice, pulled pork, veggies, cilantro, lime, tomatoes, and we're gonna cook it up and turn it into a meal that I can take or put in the fridge for a couple days and then take with me when I go babysitting or nannying. So my first step is to make the rice. I have a pot, and in the pot I add 1.5 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to let that boil. Once that's boiling, I'll put in a cup of rice, turn it to low heat, and then set it on a timer for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go do that. So while that's boiling and I'm waiting on that, I'm going to start my cutting and prepping of the vegetables. I'm gonna cut these onions up and thinly slice them, and then I'm going to mince about half an onion for my salsa. So I'm down to the last half of my onion, so I'm going to mince this one and put it in a different bowl. So next I'm going to thinly slice my peppers and put them in the bowl. Now that I got my onions and my peppers cut up, I'm going to move on to my tomatoes. And the tomatoes, the minced onion, and the cilantro is all going to make a salsa. So they're all going to be combined into one bowl. So I finished up with the tomatoes. I'm going to put it in with the bowl of onions, and then I'm going to move on and cut up my cilantro and quarter my lime. My timer is going off now for my rice, so I'm going to turn that off and keep it covered until I'm ready to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and mince my cilantro. I love cilantro. It smells so good. I wiped off the cutting board of the tomato juices because it's harder to cut with juice on the board. But I don't need all of this cilantro. I'm gonna only use like maybe a handful and cut it up. But like you could use as much as you want. Now that I finished that, I'm gonna put it in the bowl, mix it all together, and then I'm gonna go wash my hands because it's getting a little messy. I'm very messy when I cook, so. That's exactly what I meant. I'm gonna quarter my lime, add a little lime juice into there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the stove, cook my onions and peppers, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna throw some oil in here, get it heated up, throw my veggies in, soften them, add my prepackaged pork. So now that my pan is nice and hot, I'm going to add my peppers and my onions. If you like your veggies a little crispier, then obviously don't leave them in the pan as long. And remember, you're going to add your pulled pork in there. So add in that cooking time to your veggies as well. So I'm gonna cook mine for a little bit longer, add in the pulled pork, and then it'll all cook together as well, so it'll become even more softer. If you guys cook on a regular basis, tell me what your favorite meal is to cook. I think mine would be, I don't know what my favorite meal is. Alrighty, I'm gonna put in the pulled pork now. This is prepackaged pulled pork, so I already warmed it up in the microwave just a little to keep it from being frozen and clumpy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it and pull it apart with my fingers and put it in here as well. I'm gonna add just a little more oil so my veggies don't burn while I'm doing that. I wish you guys could smell this. This smells so good. I'm ready to eat it already, but I can't because it's for this week. Before I mix it up, I'm going to put some salt and pepper on it, and then I'm going to mix it in, and then I'm going to add some fajita spice onto it, or into it. So I just had to turn it down a little bit because I could tell my veggies are burning. And I don't want that while I'm putting in the fajita spice, so I turned it down so I could give myself some time. So this is the fajita seasoning mix that I do, or that I use, and I use 2 tablespoons of that, and I mix it in pretty good. So it ended up being the whole bag, which I didn't think I was going to, but I'm going to mix it in, let my pulled pork warm up a little bit, and then move on to the next step. So my next step is to stir in stock concentrate and a cup of water. So it didn't, in the recipe, it didn't tell me how much I should put in of stock concentrate, so I just kind of eyeball it. So I'm gonna let this boil for a little bit, and then I'm going to reduce it even more to a lower heat. And then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm waiting for the water to either soak in or evaporate so it's not so liquidy. Now that my water is reduced, I'm going to turn down the heat, and I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to let this sit a little. I'm going to turn off the heat, let it soak in, cool down, so I can then put it into some plastic containers once it's cooled, and put the rice in, and we'll create it. So these are, I use these every week, so they're a little loved, but I use these for my main meals. I use these for my snacks, either strawberries or apples and peanut butter. This one has a little divider in between, so I could do hummus and pretzels. I try to be on the healthier side And then I use these smaller ones for like dressing if I'm eating a salad, or in today's meal it will be sour cream for the bowl. And I have so many different sizes of these bowls. I have deeper ones, I have wider ones, so I have all types. So let's go grab the meat and the rice and start prepping. So I realized that I got a prepackaged pulled pork with a sauce added to it. It was a Carolina barbecue or something like that. So it doesn't taste like I really wanted it to, but it's okay nonetheless. So I suggest that if you go to the grocery store to buy a prepackaged pulled pork, make sure that it has no sauce added to it. So I'm gonna go in and divvy out the rice, some of the meat and veggie mix. I'm going to add some salsa and cheese. Now, isn't this pretty? And it smells so good. My stomach's grumbling. I am going to divvy out the rest of it for the rest of the week. I'm going to leave the recipe down in the description below. If you have any questions on anything that I did in the video, let me know in the comment section down below. And also in this video, there was something that was in a previous video. So if you know what it is, leave that down in the comment section down below. And thank you for watching. Please share this, give it a big like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.